Hey, what's good, boys? Today we're going to be grading every MLB free agent acquisition. Well, not every, but the top 25. The most important ones. Couple quick things. Go follow me everywhere at Century17. Go check out all my podcasts, link in the description. And one more thing, if any of you are interested in partnering, any business inquiries or inquisitions, there's an email in the description, centurybaseballbusiness@gmail.com. Contact. That being said, let's get right into it. Okay, here at the tier list, I am going to do this, how I do the player tier list. Usually grade anything A, B, C, D. Just thinking about it this way. Elite, above average, average, below average, and terrible. Usually it's trash, but we're going to be a little bit lackadaisical for you. These are in increasing order, so the most expensive contracts, total money. This is by total money. Is at the bottom of the list, and this is from the least amount of money. In the top 25. A guy I did not really expect to be in the top 25, but Christian Vazquez went out and made himself a 3-year, $30 million deal. That's quite the bag. Going to the Twins, likely replacing Gary Sanchez. They got Carl Jeffers, who looks pretty good. Overall, maybe a little bit more money than I would be willing to spend on Christian Vazquez. I'm going to rename average to solid real quick because I feel like that's more of a suitable name because I think this is a solid pickup. This is a little bit more money than I would have spent for him. But then again, I'm not an owner. He fills in what the Twins needed very nicely. Kenley Jansen. This is a lot of money. It's 2 for 32. 16 a year for a guy who's really old. Yeah, he gets a lot of saves, but he blows a lot of them too. I don't like this contract. It's not terrible because he has been there before. It just doesn't make much sense for the Red Sox. Who just they let Bogarts walk. Man, they've got to get Devers signed up. Josh Bell, this is a very good move, not quite elite. Actually, it is borderline. I'll tell you this. Josh Naylor is a platoon. He hits righties really well. Do not let him face a left. Josh Bell is a switch hitter and hits very well from both sides of the plate. He's starting to hit for power the last couple of years, which is the one thing that was really missing from his game early in his career. And he is on what I believe is a 2-year deal. Yeah, 2-year for 33. So you're paying him a little bit, but he proved what he could do. Before being traded to the Padres, he was having a really solid season. Not very good with them. In the playoffs was good, though. Rafael Montero, he got signed for 3 years for 34.5, 11.5 a year. Yeah, he was part of that dominant bullpen, but I thought he was one of the weaker parts of the dominant bullpen. That's not taking anything away from him. He was really good. I don't know if I'd pay him that much. I don't love the contract details. Tyler Anderson, one really, really good year. A lot of not really good years. He went out and made himself 3 for 39. The Angels, they're trying to go out and get their pitching help, right? Syndergaard was gone. Yeah, that was a half-a-year experiment. So they're trying to get pitching. Anderson helps, but he's kind of one of the last guys I'd really go to because he's only done it for 1 year. So it's solid. Anthony Rizzo signed 2 for 20. It's a lot of money, man. I don't know if I would have put that much money into Anthony Rizzo personally. With that being said, it fits what the Yankees needed. They needed to re-sign him. I don't know what they would have done. Good fielder, hits really for pop. Now doesn't really focus on contact anymore. Overall, this is a... yeah, it's a solid signing. It's a lot of money, man. Zach Eflin, who signed the richest contract in Tampa Bay Rays history. Well, richest free agent, so incoming free agent. He signed a 3-year for $40 million. I actually really do like this one. For the Rays, I think it's really good because they would not sign him unless they saw something in him. They obviously see something that they can tweak and make him probably a Cy Young guy, just knowing the Rays, but he was good with Philly. It's the only team he's been on, and now he went out and made his bag. That 1 extra year really did it for him, man. He signed a contract halfway through the year this past year, got injured, came back, and then opted out. It's interesting. He wanted 1 more year. Apparently, I don't know. Hey, he's a confusing one. Mitch Haniger. Okay. Giants needed Aaron Judge. They got somebody else. They got one of the better free agents as well. We'll get to that later. Their cope was to go with Mitch Haniger. They got him 3 for 43.5, it appears to be. I don't know. I like Mitch, but that's a hefty price for Mitch Haniger. So overall, I think this contract is below average. I'm grading this by if it's good for the team or not, by the way. For the players, most of these are really good. You're up in the top tier, the top 25 paid, and you're talking about a real winner this free agency. How about Robert Suarez? 5 for 46. This seems like a lot of money to pay a guy who just lost you the NLCS. I don't know, man. It is a lot. That's a lot of money. Yeah, he was dominant, but yeah, I'll give it to him. He was pretty dominant. This is solid. This is just not that great. It's a lot of money. Jose Abreu, this is really close to elite. I'm going to put it here for now. He got a 3-year deal for 58.5, just about as consistent as they come on the hitting side of things. The question becomes, is he going to be able to play like that because he's in his older years? Not great defensively, but he's going to replace Yuli Gurriel, which, did Yuli Gurriel get signed, by the way? I could look that up later. There are all these guys who I didn't even know got signed because I don't get like the notifications on my phone. Like I didn't know Ross Stripling went to the Giants. Anyway. Next up, we got Chris Bassett, who went to the Toronto Blue Jays. He went 3 for 63. He got a bag, and he deserved it. Mid-3s ERA this past year. For the Blue Jays, I really do like this one. I think they did what they need to. Yeah, they're spending a lot of money on pitching. You think about it, last year they had Gossman. They re-signed Barrios, Kikuchi, Ryu. Now you got Bassett on a really good deal. Or on a really expensive deal, rather. Stripling's gone, so that's going to hurt. He was a really nice platoon piece out of, like, the bullpen / rotation. And you have Alek Manoah. So you have, like, 6 starters you have to deal with right now. Although Kikuchi's probably going to be kicked to the pen. Is he a guy who just gets cut DFA'd at some point? He has really not been good. They got decisions ahead of themselves. Overall, I do like this move by Toronto. Jamison Taillon. This was a lot of money for Taillon. 4 for 68. That's 17 a year. For a guy who's like a 4 ERA kind of guy. Maybe 3, mid-3s, high 3s. I do not like this one. It's not terrible. It's a lot of money. Taijuan Walker. Okay. There are some blatant problems I have with this one. First of all, can I just point out the Phillies just really love to just take the former Mets pitchers. Zach Wheeler. This past year they got Syndergaard. Now they have Taijuan Walker. Boy, oh boy. I think he's good. I think he's first half heavy like the stats say he is. I don't know if he was worth the amount of money that the Phillies gave to him. What was it? 18? Yeah, 18 per year. I think this is a below average sign. I don't think he really satisfies the needs that the Phillies really needed. They still need another starter, by the way, unless they bring up like Andrew Paint. DJ LeMahieu. This, yep, Sam. Yep, that's DJ LeMahieu. Andrew Benintendi, excuse me. This is the first elite signing by the White Sox. Outsmarted everybody out of the blue. Who thought they were going to go get Andrew Benintendi? I sure did not. But it is so genius. That outfield is stacked. Lubob, Jimenez, LeMahieu, stop saying LeMahieu. Benintendi, Pollock. They got a lot of guys, and they can trade Eloy at this point for prospects too, because that farm system is suffering. They have options. This Benintendi deal is he is just so phenomenal. The defense that they need, the contact bat they need that they lost in Abreu. He's got pop when he needs it. Benintendi is a really, really good signing. Justin Verlander. This was a monstrous amount of money. Do you guys remember when we were like halfway through the year and we are like, no way Verlander's gonna opt out, right? He just made more than twice the amount of money that he would have just because he opted out. For the Mets, I think they're making a mistake. I'm gonna go solid. I think they're making a mistake in the fact that they're signing these old guys to these short-term deals. You know, Nimmo's the only guy they've committed to long-term. Getting Quintana and getting Senga, is that his name? That fills out the rotation, but Senga hasn't pitched in the MLB. Scherzer was not looking that great toward the end of the year last year. Verlander did not look great toward the end of the year last year. So if your goal is to go out and win a World Series with these guys, these are not the guys to do it because they are showing that they get gassed at the end of the year. Wilson Contreras. This is actually really tough. I kind of want elite. I think this is elite for the Cardinals. Molina, it's done. Contreras, you got him from a rival, probably second or third best catcher in the game behind Romuto, maybe Sean Murphy. Guy's got a cannon of an arm, by the way. Phenomenal hitter. Can play anywhere if you really want him to. Not like they need more position players, but they can, dude, they could trade Nolan Gorman and Dylan Carlson and probably get like a king's ransom for them, and they'd still be just fine without them. Edwin Diaz, this was a really rich contract. For a closer, oh my gosh. This was absolutely ridiculous. Let's see, 20.4 a year. Good for Diaz, because I will say he deserved it. He was lights out, but oh my gosh, is that a lot of money. So this is another guy that committed to long-term, I suppose. Above average. I mean, it's a lot of money, but he's probably worth it. Brendan Nimmo, another one I'm going to say is above average. I thought he was a necessity more than DeGrom. Gotten better defensively, gets on base at a really nice clip. Not as much of a power bat as you'd expect from a guy like him. He's kind of a bigger guy, but I think Brendan Nimmo is very good. Carlos Rodon. I thought the Yankees got a steal in him, kind of. This is pushing elite. I'll do it. 27 years, a lot of money. I thought he was going to be pushing like 35. How many years did they get him for? Is that 6? 6 years, 27 a year. He's better than Garrett Cole, and they're paying Garrett Cole. I think he's better than Garrett Cole anyway. I don't know, man. Garrett Cole just like, he just can't do it in the pressure. Yeah, he finally went out and did it this past year, but in the playoffs, finally. All right, Dansby Swanson to the Cubs. This one just happened yesterday. Instant reaction is that he's getting paid 25.2, about 0.3 a year. This one overall I think is solid. I don't know how he's going to do in a place like Wrigley. He's really... Dansby is good. I really do like Dansby. Even though I'm a Phillies fan, I do like Dansby. Good defensively, good pop. Does swing and miss a lot, chases a lot. Overall, I like the signing for the Cubs, but I don't know. It's like a year too long, and it's a few... like $5 million too much for me. All right, here we go to the bigger boys. We got Jacob deGrom. This was really good for the Rangers. They're showing they want to win now. They're going to complement those pieces they got last year. They even brought in Andrew Heaney as well, so he's not on this list. He just barely did not make it. But man, they are building something good in Texas right now, and if they can win a World Series with deGrom, Xander Bogaerts, elite. Yeah, it's really no, it's not elite. It's going to be above. It's going to be above average because it's a really long time. Don't get me wrong. He is good, and he's probably going to be the shortstop now of the future. Ha-Sung Kim's going to need to find room in that. They're running out of room in the infield. When Tatis comes back, now you have an outfielder. And, you know, Bogaerts is that contact bat they need. They are stacked. They are top heavy, but they are stacked. Pitching rotation is good, and now they're top like 5. This guy could hit 7th in their lineup for all we know. Trey Turner, this is, call me biased, it's an elite sign. This is what the Phillies needed to do to go back to the World Series. They lose in the World Series, and what's the reason? The bats go cold late in the series. A lot of strikeouts. They needed someone who doesn't strike out a ton and puts the ball in play. He's fast. Segura really did go quiet. I think the Phillies re-signed Segura in kind of like a shocking move because of the Bryce Harper injury. That's just what I think. But this Trey Turner signing, 11 years, yeah, it's a long time. 27 years, not there. In 5 years, that's probably going to look really good. He's everything the Phillies need right now. Carlos Correa, the Giants, this was such a monstrous contract. 13 for $350. I don't know, man. He's good. He had a good year last year. Opted out of 35 a year to go get 26. 27, whatever. For him, it's not, I guess if you wanted long term, it's good. For the Giants, I think this contract is not that great, man. It might just be me. He is a little bit younger than the other guys, like a couple years. So this is not as bad as I'd made it out to be. So that's pretty good. No terrible contracts. This last one's Aaron Judge, and it's elite. It's what the Yankees needed to do. Unless the Yankees wanted to go put themselves down a pit, they needed to re-sign Aaron Judge. They went out, they re-signed Aaron Judge, 9 for $360. It's what they needed to do. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like as well as subscribe. I'm sorry I've not been posting a lot recently. The content grind is going to be real, especially this next year is going to be absolutely incredible. Cannot wait for all the ideas that I have planned. More tier lists, more live streams, more podcasts. They're all going to be coming out, so make sure you guys go to the links in the description and follow all that stuff. If you like cards, I have a breaks community in the description on Facebook. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.